Hey, house guests, welcome to today's Big Brother 25 updates and spoilers. Hope you're all having a great Saturday so far. Our house guests of the day are Minnesota Mosang and Rebecca A. Campbell. Thank you both so much for the support. We could not do this without you, and we appreciate it so much. So thank you again. And if you guys want to be house guests of the day, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. It's only $1 for holla. Woo! And before we get going, I also want to thank our super chatters because that's another fantastic way to support our channel. The boys are getting anxious because they want to eat dinner and they know they're eating right after the stream is over. So, Autumn Pond, Connor Benson, Christopher Brown, Janine Honberger, Latoya L, Florida Nana, and Julia Mello. Thank you all so much for your super chats yesterday. Let's get started, right? We got some things to discuss here. Maybe not the most interesting things, but there's some things. So, when we left off yesterday, the zombies, Cameron and Jared, are back in the house. Yay! One of them will be returning to the game on Thursday, and the other will be going home. Pre-jury, baby. We're still pre-jury. I can't believe it either. So in order to determine who is coming back in, Jared and Cameron are facing off in multiple competitions, or maybe it's one competition spread out over multiple installments. We're not really sure on that. But whoever comes out on top of those comps will be given a choice. They can either choose to play in a final competition live on Thursday, or they can choose to have the other person play in that live competition on Thursday. So whoever plays, if they win the competition, they're back in. If they lose the competition, the other person comes back in. So we're not sure yet what this final challenge is going to be on Thursday. I don't know if this is just speculation or if the house guests have gotten confirmation on this, but they're talking about like a Caitlin Herman style puzzle, meaning like a 6 or 7 piece puzzle. Yeah, so we don't know what it's going to be yet, but that would be pretty funny if they brought that back as part of Scary Week because it was scary that she couldn't get it done in time. So yeah, when we left off yesterday, Cameron was in the lead by 4, whatever that means. I don't know, 4 points. 4. So we saw Jared was spending a lot of time asking people what the deal was with voting him out. He was particularly upset with Blue because he knows now that Blue knew that Jag was targeting him ahead of time, and Blue didn't say a word about that to Jared. Uh-oh. Yeah, it's not a good look. Jared says if he knew that Jag was targeting him, he would have put up Matt as the replacement nominee last week instead of Cameron, right? He would have tried to break up Jag and Matt. And I think he's really regretting not listening to Cameron because Cameron was all like, hey, everybody's coming after you once I'm gone. And that is exactly what happened. So as a result, Jared and Blue broke up, I guess. He just feels like she's been playing him, right? She has been keeping this crucial information from him. And at the same time, she's still been like sleeping in his bed. And I don't even know what they're doing right now. But I think they're back together. I think they've reconciled. Great. So speaking of Cameron, which we weren't doing anymore, I forgot that I added an extra bit here, and Cameron was not the last thing we talked about. But speaking of Cameron, he's been pretty chill, at least compared to Jared anyway. We're going to see today he's been ramping it up a little bit. He's got people rooting for him to come back into the house. Jag, Matt, Corey, America. Oh, we have a special guest here. They would all prefer to see Jared come back. Sir, what are you doing? This is Winnie, and he likes being held like a baby. So we'll see if we can get through this without any issues. Yeah, so Cameron has people who would prefer to see him come back in. In other news, we saw that the Brown Sugar Babes have been exposed. And just a reminder, that alliance is Jared, Sari, Mimi, and Felicia. And Corey is like, yeah, Jared told me about this alliance week 3. I wasn't sure at the time if it was real or not. And he was nervous to even bring it up because of what happened with Kyle last season and Kyle assuming that all of the Black house guests were working together. So Corey did not want to be in a similar situation, right? And you may be wondering, why is this coming up now? Well, Corey saw the brown sugar babes all together in a room the other day, and it just clicked, right? He remembered that Jared had told him about that alliance, and he's realizing, oh crap, this is a legitimate thing. So Jared is denying telling Corey about it. They haven't had like a confrontation about it yet, but a few people have asked Jared about it because they're like, what's going on? Mimi's asked him, Sari, Felicia, they're like, hey, we've heard that you told Corey about this. Like, what's the deal? Jared's like, no, I didn't tell him. He did though. And there's receipts. If you don't follow Hamster Watch on Twitter, she's got some receipts there. So yeah. But anyway, yeah, let's move on. Let's move on to some new stuff. Cameron and Matt had a chat in the bathroom yesterday, and Cameron was like, I don't have any allies right now. I need a home. And he's trying to say, I haven't had the chance yet to show how loyal I can be. Well, you've proven on multiple occasions that you're not loyal, but Cameron has an explanation for that as well. He's like, I had to blow up our last alliance because remember, they were in the Legend 25 alliance together. And he said, I had to do that because that alliance was going to burn my ass. They were. They definitely tried too. And they missed their shot when he won the veto. But he was like, yeah, I had to make the first move against them. He's not wrong. He says, I had one target in mind, and that was Izzy. He says, I was never going after you, Matt. I was never going after Jag. And truth be told, I want to work with you guys. So Matt says, yeah, that's what's going to happen if we all make it through this week. Oh, is Matt just saying this, or does he actually want to work with Cameron? So he says, I'm cheering you on to get back in the game. Woo! And Cameron's like, yeah, I just need one more week in the game. I need to make it to jury. So he's still continuing with that narrative of only wanting to make it to jury, like for financial reasons. And then after that, they can just vote him out. So Matt is like, I wouldn't get rid of you after just 1 week. It would be really fun to play this game with you for longer. Oh boy. Sorry. So Cameron says, yeah, if we work together, we can decide where all of the lines are going to be drawn. I want to mow this place down. What? They agree. Everyone is hoping that like Cameron, Matt, Jag are all just going to pick each other off, right? And then everyone else will have an easy ride to get to the end. And Cameron's like, you got to have someone to work with in this game, right? It is hard running through this game on your own. And he acknowledges, of course, Matt is super close to Jag, right? But he says, look, I had Red, and even that was difficult. Me and Red working together. You need more people on your side. So I wanted to hear more of this, but Matt was like, I think it could be the two of us and Jag working together, something we can explore. But then the conversation ends after that because Bowie Jane walked in. All right. It's always Bowie Jane walking in and ending convos. It's like she has radar. But a little later, Jag, Blue, and Matt are chatting in the bathroom. And Jag's like, I feel like the three of us are really solid. We got to figure out what everything looks like for our group, though, moving forward. What are we doing here? Matt tells Blue, I want you to know, just because we took the shot at Jared last week, that doesn't mean that you're next, right? I don't want you to think that. And Blue is like, no, I believe you. I trust you. I understand now why you didn't use the power of veto on me during the double eviction. Because apparently she was like begging Matt to save her with the veto. And he was like, no, I can't. Right? They needed Blue up on the block next to Jared. So Blue says, this is our day one group. We have been together this whole time. We've been through so much together, people trying to pit us against each other, all the drama, of course. But she's like, this is so awesome that we're working together now. Yeah, it's so great. I'm sorry. I just can't with this trio. We'll get into it. But they were talking about some of the conversations that they've been having with Jared and Sari the last few days. And, they've caught Jared and Sari in many a lie, right? And they've heard about all the alliances that those two have been a part of. And they agree. Jared and Sari know what they did. They know why Jared became a target last week. And they feel like those two are going to keep denying all the accusations against them. But they're like, who cares? It doesn't matter at this point, right? It's out there. we can do whatever. So Blue says, honestly, between Cameron and Jared, I'm not sure who I would rather have stay in this house. And everyone's like, wait, what? What? And she's like, I'm joking. Is she? I don't know. I have my doubts. But Jag says if Jared stays, he's going to cook us. Um, he feels like Jared is going to be really upset with their trio in particular. And Blue's like, yeah, but he feels the most wronged by me, right? Because Blue didn't tell Jared what a big target he was going into this week. Now, on the other hand, Jag says Cameron is just sitting back at this point and watching the world burn. Um, yeah, he likes to sit back and watch everybody scramble and stuff, but he's getting in the mix now too. So they talk about how Cameron is probably going to want to work with them moving forward, right? He's already been pitching to them about working together. He was already doing that when he was trying to stay off the block in the first place, but he's bringing that back up again. And they know whenever they talk to Cameron, they need to be careful what they say to him because he will spill anything to anyone at any time. So they don't want to give him any crucial information that could come back and bite them in the butt. Um, Blue says Cameron is super smart though, and he knows that this is his last shot to stay in this game. So she's like, I don't think he's going to do anything to blow that up, even when it comes to like spilling information. I mean, I would not underestimate Cameron in the spilling info and screwing people over department, whatever. But anyway, they're trying to figure out who would Cameron target if he were to stay and win HOH. What would he do? Would he target Suri, Felicia, Corey in America? They're not sure. It could be anybody at this point. And they are wondering, like, if Cameron were to stay, who would he work with? And they're getting the feeling maybe he would want to work with them, right? Because they've been hearing, oh, Cameron wants to work with other strong competitors. And they feel like they really are the best chance for Cameron to go far in this game. And Blue's like, I'm not saying that we should work with him, though. Like, even if he wants to work with us, is that really what we want to be doing? I mean, they are considering it. They're talking about it. So Blue says in the case that he does stay, we need to make sure that we're at least cool with him, right? We want to make sure that he will want to work with us if he stays. And Jag's like, yeah, if he stays, Cameron is going to be the biggest threat next week. We would have to entertain working with him, right? Because there's a really good chance that if he stays, he can win HOH. But Jag is also like, we need to make sure that we don't get exposed in the process because let's face it, it's not a good look to be working closely with Cameron at this point. It's gonna make you potentially a target, a pariah with everybody else. So it is a risk at this point, right? All right. So the feeds go down for a bit for the final part of the preliminary zombie competition thing. So just a reminder, Cameron did go in with a lead of 4. Whatever it means. And when the feeds come back after the comp, Jared is in the comics bedroom with Sari, Felicia, and Mimi, and Jared is crying because he lost the competition. Oof. So that means that Cameron will decide who is playing in the live final competition on Thursday. And we already know that Cameron will be playing himself, right? He wants to make sure he is in control of his own destiny here. I mean, I think that's the obvious choice, right? You don't want to leave that up to somebody else. So Cameron will be playing. So Felicia's telling Jared, it ain't over till it's over. There's still that chance that it's going to be Jared coming back into the game if Cameron loses the competition. And she's telling Jared, walk with your head held high, pick yourself up, and go be Jared. Yeah. So Sari is telling him, shake it off. We don't know what's coming. You really need to be in the right headspace. You need to be ready for anything at this point. So he was definitely all doom and gloom for a good part of yesterday. We'll come back to Jared. But a few minutes later, Cameron has a chat with Sari in the comics bedroom. And Cameron says, all right, I want you to know that Jared and I came to a solid understanding last night. He says there's no use in Jared or me like hurting each other's game. We want to make sure whoever comes back in this house is going to have the best chance at success. So Cameron, he says he did ask a favor of Jared. Like, he gave Jared a way to help him if he is the one going back in the house. And he's like, could you talk to Blue, please? Let her know that I'm not coming after her. Let her know that I want to work with her. Right? That's the favor that he asked of Jared. And then Cameron says that Jared asked him to protect Suri with everything he's got if he's the one to stay. That's a tall order because we know that Cameron before was definitely targeting Suri. But Cameron says, I know that everyone's going to be gunning for me if I come back in. And he's talking about, potentially working with Suri moving forward. And he's like, I want you to know, if you see me getting in with that other group and like spending a lot of time with them, he's referring to like Jag, Matt, Corey, America. I guess Blue is a part of that as well. He's like, if you see that, just know that I'm not really with them. He says, I'm going to bust that group up from the middle. I mean, we've seen Cameron HOHs are very chaotic, so I wouldn't be surprised if that was his real plan. So Suri is like, yeah, I want to work with you. Red told me before he left that I should work with you. Did he really? Because he wasn't on great terms with Cameron when he left. So I don't know if he really said that. But Cameron says, who's bad? Corey and America. They're a bad duo. So he is starting to talk about splitting those two up because he sees them gaining a lot of power in the house, right? A lot of people wanting to work with them. So Suri is like, at this point, I'm a free agent. I've been cut from my team. I'm ready to get a new group together. Like, let's figure something out. And Cameron then is just talking more about how he wants to bust up that new group that has formed. And of course, Suri is all too happy to hear this. So a little later, Cameron works on Matt some more. He's like, I want to work with you and Jag. So Cameron says, I want Felicia out of here. I don't want her on jury because she would be too persuasive. Who knows what Cameron really wants, right? He's telling a lot of people different things. I feel like him saying he wants to target Felicia, while he may want her out before jury, I don't think Felicia would be Cameron's actual target next week. I think he might put her on the block as a pawn, but I don't think that Felicia would be his actual target. I think he's saying that in front of Matt because he doesn't want to straight up be like, Corey's my target, right? Because he's still trying to feel out just how loyal Matt and Jag are to Corey and America. So, yeah, Matt and Jag chat about the possibility of working with Cameron. So it seems like what Cameron was saying to Matt was actually kind of resonating, right? And Matt's like, I wouldn't mind working with Cameron, bro. Oh boy, it's a bro fest. And Jag says, yeah, I'm open to it too. Jag says, I'm going to need to talk to Cameron about some stuff though. He wants to ask Cameron about something that happened a few weeks ago. Remember when Jag and Cameron made that deal for safety so that Jag could stay off the block? And Cameron was all like, if you tell anyone, if I hear a peep about you telling anyone, the deal is off. So Jag did not tell anyone about that, right? But he knows that Cameron did tell people and it went all around the house. So he wants to see what's up with that with Cameron. And he wants to know why Cameron spilled. Why'd you do it, bro? All right. So Matt says, again, some of Cameron's talking points. Cameron told me he's tired of all of us dudes targeting each other. Everybody else gets to skate by. And Matt and Jag are giddy at the thought of the two of them and Cameron working together and steamrolling to the end, winning all the competitions and voting everybody else out. They're like, we can win back to back to back. It's going to be so great. Matt says America, the country, will be all excited if the three of them get together and steamroll to the end. No. We don't like seeing any alliance steamroll. It's so freaking boring. It is so boring to watch. But he thinks that we're going to be thrilled by it. I don't think so. I think you're overestimating here. But they feel like while it would be great to have a 3 with Cameron, wouldn't it be even better to have a 4? They feel like they can pull in Blue. And especially if Jared is gone, right? They feel like they can trust Blue more once Jared is not there. All right. So they're super pumped, also thinking that Cameron wants Felicia, Suri, and Mimi out because those are people that they want out. I don't know that that's Cameron's real plan, but okay. So meanwhile, Jared is so bummed out that he no longer controls the fate of his own game, right? It all depends on if Cameron wins this competition or not on Thursday. So he's complaining to Felicia and Sari, and he's in a really bad mood, and he's saying, the first wrong crack of a smile that I see on somebody else, I'm gonna get kicked out of this effing house. So he's implying that he's gonna like get violent and have to be removed from the game. Ugh. So Sari and Felicia are telling him, no, you're not gonna do that. Because if you do that, then this was all for nothing, right? And you won't get your stipend. You won't get any of the money that you've made so far. That is true. Also, like, do we really need to be getting violent over a game like this? But Jared was also talking to Blue and saying, I don't want to talk to anybody right now. I can't fake it anymore with these people. If I have no say in whether I go or stay, what's the point? I can't influence that decision with any conversations. Homie. But he could still come back in if Cameron fails. So I feel like he should get his butt in gear and start like mending some fences with people, right? Just in case. All right. So, homie, come here. You're going to eat soon. Jag and Cameron have their chat about working together. And Jag is asking Cameron, why did you tell Jared about the safety deal that we made a few weeks ago? Because when that came out, that really put me in a tight spot. And I didn't tell anyone about it. And Cameron's like, oh, wait, what? I didn't know that I wasn't supposed to tell anyone. I know that you weren't, but like I didn't think that I had to keep that a secret. Really? I feel like he's BSing here right now, right? Usually it's implied that when it's like a secret deal, you both keep it a secret. Especially since Cameron was all like, if I find out that you told people, I'm going to put you up on the block as a replacement. Well, if you tell other people, you are opening the door to that spreading around, and then you don't know if Jag was the one who spread it or somebody that you told. So, yeah, that was definitely BS. But anyway, uh Cameron apologizes for Jag being in a tough spot because of that. He's like, I'm sorry, that wasn't my intention, but I had to tell Jared about our deal to explain to him why you were not going up as the backdoor target because he was pushing for that to happen. So then they discuss, they've won so many competitions between the two of them and Matt. And they're like, we're going to steamroll, blah, blah, blah. Amazing. So fun. And Cameron tells Jag, if I win HOH, I'm going to put up Mimi and Felicia. Are you? I think he might, but like as pawns. So eventually Matt joins them. And now we got the three broskies together. And Jag is asking Cameron for his thoughts on Corey and America. What's your deal with them? And Cameron says, I think Corey and America need to be broken up. He says Corey should be the one to go out of the two because America is not going to be a threat without Corey, but Corey would still be a threat without America. Okay, if you say so. So yeah, I'm guessing that Cameron would put up Felicia and Mimi if he won HOH, and then he would backdoor Corey. But like, where are Jag and Matt in all of this? Are they actually okay with Cameron potentially targeting Corey? Are they just going along with it for right now? What's the deal? We need to hear some diary rooms on all this. In other news, Jared did pull it together a bit last night. He did have conversations with people. He had chats with both Matt and Jag, and he told them both, we're still bros. I'm not coming after you if I stay, blah, blah, blah. He also told Jag that he will be targeting Corey if he stays. He says that's going to be his only target. Yeah, so Jared is trying to pull it together here, right, and stay. Okay, then Blue, Matt, and Jag had a late night conversation. This was so frustrating. These three are now saying, no matter who stays this week, Cameron or Jared, they're not going to put that person up next week. They want to pull in whoever stays to work with them. Really? You don't think that you should just like vote out the person that was already voted out? Okay, interesting choice. Instead, they want to target Felicia. Why Felicia? Why are you so bad at this? I'm sorry, but that makes no sense to me. I don't think that's a good idea. You're going to leave either Cameron or Jared in the house. You're going to take out Felicia instead. Make it make sense. So anyway, today, Jag, Matt, and Blue chatting again. They're trying to